welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about my top 5 tips for getting breastfeeding off to the best start. Seems like everyone here on Google and YouTube has what they believe to be the best tips for breastfeeding, and really it's less to do with the products and the recommendations and more to do with education and seeing what you can do to really set yourself up for success in terms of your support team and what you know to be normal newborn behaviour. My name is Kitty Hackle. I am a registered general nurse as well as a lactation consultant, hypnobirthing instructor, antenatal educator, birth and postpartum doula, as well as mama to 3 little kiddos. Today we're going to talk about your top 5 breastfeeding tips. Let's get straight into it. So my tip number 1 is to educate yourself now, starting today. So if you are watching this, you are likely in the 2nd or final trimester of your pregnancy, in which case, huge congratulations. I'm so excited for you. I remember that phase like it was only yesterday, and now is really the time to start educating yourself around what is normal newborn behavior, what are breastfeeding norms, how can that look? Studies show that education in pregnancy, as opposed to trying to figure it out and fumble along once your baby has actually arrived, showed reduced rates of breastfeeding struggles, but also a longer duration of breastfeeding afterwards. So book yourself in for an antenatal breastfeeding session with your local lactation consultant. You can always contact me to do one virtually with you, or an online breastfeeding course so that you can learn about what breastfeeding might look like for you. My next tip is to learn your baby's hunger cues. And believe it or not, our babies are really talking to us from the minute that we first meet them. And there are lots of different ways that our babies tell us whether they are tired, whether they are hungry. But really, in a nutshell, we want to get to them before they are upset. Just in the same way that we wouldn't go into an exam or go into a Spanish class without having had breakfast, babies are much better off to not be hangry when they are learning the new skill that is breastfeeding. Yes, breastfeeding is natural, but it's a learnt skill, both for the breastfeeding person, but also for the baby. So we want to make sure that we are getting to our babies before that point. Early signs that our baby might be hungry or looking for milk can be mooching of the head backwards and forwards like this, looking for a little fluttering of the eyelids, opening their mouth, looking for the breast, really like the breast is right there beside them, licking of the lips, opening and closing the mouth, like I said, hand to the mouth, sucking. These are all signs that your baby is looking for the breast, and they are a much better point to start offering your baby the breast and trying to get them to get a nice deep latch than at a later phase. A later phase would be when they are changing color, going a little bit more pink, a little bit more red, if they're starting to mooch and make louder noises. And then the last phase would be if your baby's actually crying. I'm going to try and link here an infographic that I have created showing really clearly those different phases of hunger cues for your baby. I'll link it down below in the cards. My tip number 3 is to create a little checklist for yourself. And that's not going to be like a checklist in terms of what I need for every single feed, although creating a little basket where you can have bits and pieces kind of at to hand is a whole other tip in itself. But this is going to be what a checklist would be for a good latch. And latch is everything when it comes to having a comfortable and really positive breastfeeding journey. So when it comes to your baby being latched on deeply to the breast, I want you to be doing a little checklist. Starting with number 1. Is your baby approaching the breast with their chin to the breast first? We want chin to the breast, not mouth to the breast. And I'm going to show you. You can see here with this lovely breast that I have, if we are approaching our baby with the chin to the breast first, what happens is the nipple is pointing up the nostrils, exactly where we want it to be. So your baby is getting a lovely mouthful of this under breast area here. And the nipple will be shooting back to, if you feel on the hard roof of your mouth, you've got your hard palate, and further back you've got your soft palate. Your nipple should be at that junction between the hard and soft palate for your baby to be having a really efficient feed and moving that milk with little to no effort, and for you to be more comfortable. So instead of just waiting for your baby to open their mouth and putting the nipple in, we want to be tilting nipple up the nostrils, chin to the breast. Much different. When your baby is feeding at the breast, you should see their chin snuggled into their breast, their nostrils should be free, their cheeks should be full, and you should be able to hear them sucking and swallowing for about 80% of their time at the breast. These are little checks that you can be doing. The final check that I want you to be looking for is that your baby is in full contact with you. So they should be facing tummy to mummy. Their head, shoulders, and hips should be in alignment, like this sweet little baby. So no matter what position that you are in, your baby should be head, shoulders, and hips in alignment, tummy to mummy, and there should be no gaps. My next tip is to find your tribe, and I cannot tell you any more about how important this one is. So go find your tribe now, whether it's your local Laleshli group. In Ireland we have a Quidju group, whether it's a local mum and baby group. Join those groups now ahead of time. Join those WhatsApp groups, those Facebook groups, and try and go to them before your baby arrives. Things will feel a whole lot less overwhelming when you have a friendly face to come to that group, or somebody to ask a midnight question of, to know that you are not alone during those midnight feeds, during those nighttime hours when things just feel like you're never going to catch a break. You are not alone, and having a group or a tribe to walk alongside you makes a world of a difference. And my very last breastfeeding tip is find your why. Why is it that you want to pursue breastfeeding your baby? Is it because of the protective benefits of breast milk? Is it because of the bond that you want to have with your baby? Is it because you know that your mother and your mother before her have all breastfed their babies too? Is it because you have wanted this for so long and visualized what that experience might look like? Try and remember what your why is and find that why. That's going to help you to feel stronger on those moments where it's just too much or too tiring, or you need to seek help. It'll help you to get to that next day, get to that next feed, taking it feed by feed, day by day. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope these top 5 tips will give you a bit of an idea as to why breastfeeding can be something that you can prepare for now as opposed to a later phase, and I hope that you found them helpful. If you've got any tips for your breastfeeding friends or soon to be mamas, do pop them in the comment section down below. I would love to find out what they are.